Good morning. So I thought I should take a moment to make a video because it's been quite some time actually. I've been working on this product for about 2 weeks now. It's a tripod, so I thought I should share some challenges I had with it. It's almost ready for production. Not quite there yet, but I think given another week or maybe even less, I should be able to get it done, but certainly not this week because I've got a lot of work to do, and then a buddy of mine has his wedding this weekend as well, so I'll be taking some time off to attend that as well. And yeah, I've been doing summer classes currently. Got 2 math courses that I'm trying to knock out, so I won't have to worry about those in my final year. I thought it's best that I take care of them now because sure, the timeline is going to be accelerated, but given that I study math as a hobby anyways, I don't reckon I'm going to have too many issues. It's like introductory statistics and I think numerical methods, so I think I'm not going to have any problems at all. But let's talk about the product. So I needed a tripod, right? So I was like, okay, I looked on Maker World and I was not happy with any of the designs that I saw. I was like, you know what? Let me try and make my own. How hard could it be? Famous last words, of course. So this portion here, I was thinking would be the most difficult part, right? But it turns out that it took me about 1 day to create this. And so it's entirely print in place, right? So, which is nice. So you just have to, you can send out the legs like this and they'll stand out. Pretty nice. I still have to do a little bit of processing, so we'll see how it goes. So I'll get some sandpaper and I'll just wet sand the material and it should come out much better. I can also spray it if I want, but we'll see how it looks, right? So, okay. Pretty nice though, right? I was worried that I would have to use some screws, but since it's print in place, lovely, I don't have to do that. Okay, now the most difficult part actually turned out to be the mechanism to hold the phone itself. So this is the final design that I came up with, but I had to iterate over a process. I think 2 weeks the process took to iterate over this thing to come to this design. So, oh, I'm still not done, by the way. I have to do a little bit of modifications to the screw. If you notice, it looks really terrible, right? Like it's really, really jagged because I have to print the screw like this in this horizontal manner. Because if I print the screw like this, it'll come out looking really nice and I'll get high accuracy on the treads. But then the print is very, very weak because it's being done one layer at a time. And so when you apply this kind of twisting motion, it snaps off and it breaks and the screw is not very strong. But if you print it laterally like this, then the lines, right, are reinforced. And so I did it like this for strength, but it looks really, really terrible. And so I did a bit of research and okay, they have techniques that they use to 3D print screws, and so I'm going to redesign this screw using those techniques. Essentially, you just split the screw in half down the middle, and it allows you to print the screw flat like this, and you don't have to worry about, you know, this sort of gunky stuff here. But yeah, that's one of the issues I have to worry about, but this portion here was not too bad. So all you have to do is put the screw in here like this and you tighten it. Okay, it's gonna take a bit to go in, but let's say, I plan on making one larger as well because I've had one of my clients, yes, I've somehow got clients in development stage, which is hilarious, but one of my clients required that I get one for a tablet, like a Kindle, so I'll need this to be a little bit longer so I can manage the Kindle. But you basically put your phone in here and then you just tighten this all the way in like so, up to your desired length, right? And then it's just going to come in and okay, that noise is actually from the, you see this portion here, from the excess gunk you get from the orientation that I 3D printed. I can probably sand it off actually. I'll get a Dremel tool and I'll see if I can sand it off, and maybe I won't have to redesign the screw after all. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it. Maybe I can sand this portion off as well. We'll see how it goes, but that's definitely food for thought, right? Okay, and so how you do this is you connect this portion here, and you've got another screw here, which comes in like this. Oh, I actually gave my uncle this, right? And he was a bit confused as to which direction to put this. And if you notice, there's a little notch here. And so the notch is designed to come here, so you can rotate, right? But he put it the other way like this, and so it can no longer rotate. So I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is duplicate the notch on both sides, so the user doesn't get confused as to which direction they have to put it in. Heck, they can even put it in the middle if they wanted to, could they? Maybe that's not a bad idea. I'll probably need to cut down here a little bit to give it some wiggle room. But certainly I don't want the user having to figure out how to assemble this thing. Even if they accidentally assemble it in the wrong way, it shouldn't be a problem, right? So this just comes in like this, and the screw connects to this middle part here. So this will be the first anchor point. The reason it's also like portable, because I could have just made it as one big attachment, but I was like, you know what, I should give the user the ability to disassemble the thing if they wanted to. So let me just put this in. I don't know why it's so hot today, to be honest with you. I've got the fan blasting on max, and I'm still just dying here. Okay, so this comes in like so, and then, okay. This portion, right, will come like this, and there's one more screw here that will come in from here and just attach to the back like this. Okay, let me just put that in real quick, like so. Okay, and so now you can rotate it like this normally. So I guess this would be landscape, right? And if you wanted to, you can also put the phone in portrait mode, right? And then you can also adjust like this, right? Up or down. I can also make this extension here a bit longer for some different purposes, because it's really ideal if you want to record yourself actually, or just something to hold your phone or watch in general. But when you turn it to look towards something, it would be better if it were a bit longer, as I'm learning now as I'm making this video. So perhaps I'll do that. Yeah, because you'll notice that the thing doesn't even fit in the frame entirely. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. But yeah, it was a pretty cool product to work on. It was far more challenging. I learned a lot. My scuffed cat skills certainly improved with this one. Now let's talk about some of the iterative processes that I had to go through. So this was the very first design that I came up with, right? It wasn't bad. It worked okay-ish. So pretty much the same basic principle. You just put a screw in through here, right? So I was trying to do everything at once with this, but the problem was I couldn't get an exact tolerance, right? Because either the screw would be too short, right? And if the screw was too short, it would never reach to grip onto this. If you notice, there's like a hole that leads, I don't know if you can see with the lighting here, but there's a hole that leads all the way to this portion here, right? And the screw would never quite reach this guy here, and so it couldn't grip onto it to tighten it, right? So that was a problem. Or the screw would just be too long, right, and it wouldn't be able to grip this part onto here properly. And so I was like, you know what, let's keep it stupid simple, right? That's what my English teacher told me in first year. And I was like, okay, let's just separate the concerns out. And so we had one screw for gripping here, and we had the other screw to just manually, you know, you can do the adjustments like this if you wanted to. And I was like, you know what, I'm not very happy with this design. Oh, and also the way in which I designed these arms, for some reason my dad had a really chunky phone, and it was not holding, and I was like, you know what, we can do better than this. And so yeah, that's how we came up with this final design. So that entire process took about 2 weeks. So I'm going to try and see if I can redesign this screw using the recommended methods for 3D printing screws, or I'll try and get a Dremel tool and see how it looks, right? Obviously I want it to have a polished look. I don't want the product looking scuffed, right? And then one other issue that I came across was with this guy here. It was too thin initially, like, you notice how it's wobbling a bit? So sometimes if there was like a little bit of vibration, the phone would just wobble back and forth. And then I even had one case, one client had the thing snap somewhere here. And one of my friend had it snap at the bottom, and another friend had it snap up here as well. And I assume it's because of the same issue with me printing it like this. So I tried printing it laterally, and it's extremely strong. I cannot break this thing. I cannot. Yeah, it's not breakable. I don't see how they're breaking this, but as you can see, it looks really, really ugly. And because what's happening is that this, for some reason, the support is tearing off the initial layer. So I'm gonna have to try and like weaken the supports a little bit here. I'll try that. Or I'll try to do the same Dremel technique and see how it looks. But this guy, good luck breaking this, bro. You cannot. Like, yeah. This one, yeah, you can probably, yeah, look how, you see how easy that was? Like, nothing, right? It just snapped right off. So, you know what? I think this is the winner, for sure. Winner, chicken dinner. And just for, like, testing purposes, let me see how easy it is to, this one's a lot harder to break. But I'm just gonna try and break it just to see how strong it is, potentially. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm just going to try and break this out because, whoa, yeah, it was difficult, right? But it was not too difficult to break, and it's because of the way in which it was printed. So, ouch, I think I might have cut myself a little bit there. Oh god, I definitely, ow, I cut myself. Oh no. Well, we cut ourselves for science. Whew. Alright, it's fine. I'm just gonna go get another plaster. Yeah, bro. I have really, really baby skin. I was at the gym, right? And I was trying to do some lat pull downs. And I was like, oh god, I need some gloves because I looked at my palms and they were bleeding. And I was like, well, that can't be good. Just grab some tissue and just like sap it. I've got a little bit of isopropyl alcohol as well. But yeah, that's it. It was pretty good. A pretty fun project to work on. I'll definitely try to finish it within another week as soon as the wedding's done. I can work on it intermittently in the meantime, but certainly won't be the focus. Ouch. Okay, it's a lot better. It's not a bad cut, guys. Don't worry, it's a very minor cut. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be working on my bionic prosthetic at the same time, and I've also got my open source robotic arm that I'm working on in parallel. So I've got these 3 projects just running side by side, and we'll see how either of them turn out. I still have to decide what it is I want to actually do for my final year project. So I could do the open source robotic arm, or I could do the bionic prosthetic. But I'd rather keep those to my business purposes rather than for like school purposes. But yeah, and I don't think they're like terribly challenging to me at this level that I'm on. Anyways, so I should pick something that will challenge me or force me to expand my current domain of knowledge. Anyways, yapped enough. I've got work to do now. I want to head to the gym, and yeah, so yeah, that's it for me.